We will take a look at how to perform group by in Power Query Editor, and also we'll do fuzzy grouping, fuzzy group matching. How do we do that in Power? This is very specific to Power Query Editor, the fuzzy matching, okay? And what exactly group by? Groups rows that have the same values to get the summary data. I will just show you this data. Avinash, look here. This is the data given to you. Your manager is giving the data, very less number of records. Good, you are so happy, he did not give much data. Okay. And here, if you see here, Australia, these two rows have the same values. He wants you to combine these two into a single row. So Australia, right? So take all the, say, look here, Australia is there. 3 records, 3 rows have Australia here. He wants you to find out the total sales amount and total units sold in Australia in one line. Like this, look here, the Australia. These 3 rows, sales value and quantity values got added, and it shows, end of the day, it shows only one row. Aggregation, this is called aggregation summarization. So in the Australia, the region, look here, quantity is 15. What is the quantity here? 10, 5, 15, okay, 17 here. Okay, sorry, here it should be 17. There is a typo here. Let me correct it now itself. This is not 15, this is 17 actually, okay? So 10 plus 5 plus 2, 17. Similarly, 24,000 plus 2,700, 26,700 plus 2,000. 26,700 plus 2092. 28,792 should be there here. Got it? This is what aggregation. So in this case, we have grouped the rows that have the similar values. In this row, I have Australia. Australia group all these similar values and then apply the sum function. In this case, we have used an aggregation function called sum. Okay, aggregation functions. If you want to perform any aggregation using group by, you can do it. But in the case of group by, you need to use the appropriate aggregation function. Suppose you want to find out the average, you can use average function, average, minimum, maximum. In the interview, they'll ask you what are the aggregation that function that use minimum, maximum, average, sum function, count function. These are all related to aggregation. And also we have some distinct, okay, distinct. These are kind of your aggregation function. I will ask you going forward the questions during the session itself. Yeah, very good. Nitesh Kumar refined my statement. Grouping of rows which have similar value and apply aggregation function on it. Excellent. He's a fresher actually. Freshers always have fresh mind, right? So group the similar rows that have similar value and then apply the aggregate function on it. So either you can use sum function or you can use average function, min function, max function, distinct function, count function. And similarly, right, New Zealand, the same thing. In the case of New Zealand, what happened? It took the value from here, New Zealand, and then again New Zealand. It grouped all the, only 2 records are there. So 12 plus 1 is how much? 13. In this case, we are using sum function. 12 plus 1 is 13. And 7621, 8,642. Very good. This one is correct. Now you understood what is aggregation. Group the rows that have the similar values and then apply the aggregation function, either sum function. Whenever you use group by, you have to use aggregation function. Otherwise, it will not work. But in the case of SQL query, you need to remember this point. When it comes to Power Query Editor, it will not allow if you don't select any of these functions. See, apart from this, you have something called perform a row operation. This is also very specific to Power Query Editor. This we will take a look at it when I give a demo. Okay. So now, okay, now what happened here is, one more point you need to remember when it comes to group by. In this case, we did the group by on this country column. Group by on the country column. So all the Australia related records, you group it, combine it, and then apply the sum function. 10 plus 5, 15 plus 2, 17. And add these values, 28,792, put it here. Australia. We did it based on the group by on the country. Let's see if I want to the group by based on the combination of two columns. So what will happen in this case? In this case, if you see here, the United States, if you take a look at the United States and South, I want to have, here we have two records. These two records will get grouped. See, these two records will get grouped separately. And this record will, United States, we have East, right? This one will get grouped separately and West will get grouped separately. Since United States East, I just clear this mess. So now we are going to do a group by based on group country and region, more than one column, country and region. So in that case, if your manager asks you, can you give me the group by on country and region? So in that case, the United States country and the region South, right? These two rows are similar because you are doing a group by on country and region. These two will get combined. This one will be combined with another United States West record, since we don't have another record which have United States West. Okay, then it will not do the aggregation. Here also the East, right? So this one will be, look here, in this case, 3 records are there for United States. United States East to 2,500. United States South, if you see here, for these two things put together, there is a separate record. The 5 plus 5, 10, 8,764 plus 4,251 is 13,000. Group these, the rows that have the similar values. But in this case, group by, we did it, based on country and the region. So in this case, you will see 3 different records. United States appears 3 times because in the United States, along with that, in the region column, you can see different regions. Especially in the case of South, we have more than one South region record weather. Hence, it combined, it aggregated, it combined these two things, and then it applied the aggregation function sum here. You can, like I said, you can use sum, average, min, max, whatever you want, you can use it. So, okay, enough theory. I just go ahead and I'll show you in Power BI so that you'll be able to understand. We have something called aggsaves.csv. I will open this file. For group by, I have used this file for you people to understand it quickly. Look here, country ID, US, US, US is USA, and region is C, country ID, region, quantity, sales. Whatever we discussed so far, right, relevant to that, we can see the data here. And Australia, AU. But in Australia, we have 3 different regions, East, West, South. Sorry, East, West. Only 2 records, 3 records. Yeah, East. But East, we have two records are there. Australia East, 2 records are there. But if you see here, Germany, GRG is there. But US, USS is there. Some typo is there. Okay. So what I do is I just hit the load button and load that AGG sales data here. Here, I just go to the Power Query editor and I click on transform data. Here we will find the group by. Click on group by, very simple. And here we have two options, basic, advanced. Here, which column you want to do group by? Country column. For example, you want to start the country column. And then I just say total sales by country. Give some meaningful name. And here operation, look here, aggregation function. These are the functions. Sum, average, median is also, median is a middle value. Minimum, maximum, count rows. Give me the total number of records in each country. Okay, count distinct rows. Okay, and then the unique records. Okay, and then all rows. All rows we will see it later. I'm going to select sum now. Sum on which column? The sales column. Or we can use quantity also. Quantity, we'll start with the quantity, okay? I just click on OK. Let's see what happens. The group. Can you see more than one United States record here? No. United Kingdom, can you see more than one? No. I just go to the operating system and then I'll show you I'll open this file also. See, before, without opening these files, if you are able to concentrate, you should be able to understand. And the same data we see here, but here it shows United States. We have only US, right? Let me just click on it here. Country. Okay. I selected something else. See. Okay, that's what I was wondering. See, I selected some other sales, this one file. Yeah, right. No one noticed it, right? I selected sales W04. Jeevanandam, enna pandringe? Say, where is AG sales? AGG sales. This is the one. I should have selected this query, guys, right? And then click on group by. Your country ID. I want to group by on this country ID. Total sales. And some function. Here, I just say sales. That's what I was wondering, why so many things are it shows. Sales column. Look here in the sales column, I want to use the sum function, but I want to group by on country ID. When I click on OK, US should appear only one time, but because of the typo, we have another record, exists, USS. Actually, this value 4,251 should get added with this one. Had I mentioned US here, this value would have got added here. This is some exception. This is some kind of, this is data entry problem. But to understand the group by, it combines all the US records and then it does the sum on the total sales. Got it? Ideally they should have given that option, fuzzy matching it itself. Okay, so now, we did the group by on the country ID and we applied this sum function on the sales column. Similarly, if your manager asks you, hey, along with this, I wanted to see the total number of quantities that we sold in each country. Again, you don't have to go and click on do it. You can modify this one itself. How do you modify that? On the right side, just when you apply to group by group rows, next to that, you will find this one. Click on this. Click on advanced this time. And then add aggregation, total quantity sold. And here also I'm going to use some function. But what value should I select here? Can all of you please type it in the chat window? Total quantity sold. Jivanandam, what value should I specify? Maunika, very good. Nitesh, very good. How about others? Jivanandam, Sumati is there? Sumati, she left. Okay. And what value should I need to select the quantity here? Total quantity, total sales. I want to find out for each country. Click on OK. Look here in US 13 record, 13 units. Look here, if I go here and then the Excel file, if I select it here in the data and if I filter it in Excel, learn Excel also the basic things. Okay, don't tell I don't know. And here US, if I select US, if you select this one, what value see it? 18,887, 18,887. Can you see that? 18,887, 18,887, right? And similarly, the units quantity 2 plus 6, 8, 8 plus 5, 13. Look here, 13, right? 13 it shows here. Why it did not consider this one as well? Because the typo, naming the typing mistake here. And if you select USS here, only one record is there. Hence, no need to apply some function. Simply it will show 54251. That's all. Similarly, Australia, the naming convention was correct. I just go and select Australia here. And then if I select these values, you can see 28,792. Perfect. And then how many units we sold? You select these three values. 10 plus 5, 15 plus 2, 17. Very good. Avinash, Sumit, are you able to understand? So it does see here manually you need to select it and then you need to check it out here. But in the case of group by in Power Query Editor or SQL query, simply specify the option. That's all. It does the filtering. It does the aggregation. Okay. Okay. Now your manager says, okay, good. You have given me country-wise how many units we sold and how much sales we made in total country-wise. You have given me. That's very good. Next, he is asking one question. And tell me how many number of transactions we made in each and every country. How many invoices that we generated. I just go back here and I say, you know what, man, this guy is asking question one after other, right? You'll be unhappy with your manager. Total, but one way it is good. More the questions when they ask the number of transactions. Count rows. Look here, count rows. You can use count rows. That's all. Here you don't have to select anything. Click on OK. Look here in US, 3 records are there. US is 1 record is there. Australia, 3 records are there. We'll go to Excel. See, Australia, 3 records are there, right? Three transactions. And similarly, in US, if you select US, how many records are there? 3 records are there. See, in US, 3 records are there. Three. You just think, these 3 are like in 3 different invoices. In US, or 3 orders. In US, we got 3 orders. In Australia, we got 3 orders. In Germany, we got 1 order, and so on. Okay, we did this one. And the next one is, so next question, what he asked, right? Hey, instead of going to Excel and check it this one, is there any way for each and every record, can you give me the detailed transaction? Man, right? You are frustrated now, but thank God, Power Query Editor, you have an option. You say, hey, I'll give you, man. So you click on this one, it'll take you here, add aggregation, right? So here, so granular level detail. So without fail, you need to practice it tomorrow by 6 p.m. Sumit, Avinash, Jivanandam, Sumita, you need to update me about this one. Okay. So here all rows I'm going to select. All rows will give you the granular detail for each and every aggregated records. Done. So this time it gives me something like table. Okay, now what I do is I just keep the cursor next to this one, next to the table, I click it here. Not the table, next to that I need to click it. So you can see the detailed transaction for each and every aggregated value. So in US, 13 units we sold. You can compare it here. Instead of going and checking it here, right? Here itself, 6 plus 5, 11 plus 2 is 13 in US. And US, how much? If you add all these things, you'll get, ideally in Excel, how they give, right? When you select these things, it displays the same thing they could have given it here. Probably we can suggest Microsoft, right? And then when you click on this one here, in Australia, 3 records are, look here, it gives me total number of records were 3. It gives me 3. And total quantity 15 plus 2 17. Perfect. It did the aggregation. And then see, they might ask you this kind of thing. What makes up 18,080 or what makes up 28,792? Is there any way that I can see the detailed transaction or granular detail for each and every aggregated value? In that kind of situation, all rows option, you can use it. When you use all rows, you are going to create a new column. Just click next to the table, not on top of the table. It will give you the detailed transaction for each and every aggregated value. Got it? Okay. The next problem is, let's say your manager is at onsite is Steve. He tells, hey man, something wrong here. Hey man, I did all the things, why are you saying wrong? He says, hey, what the hell is this USS? We don't have a country by the name of USS. So this value 4251 should get added with this one. This value should get added. I don't know what you are going to do it. See, in this case, the number of countries were less. When you work with the e-commerce company or the companies, the big retail chains, Walmart, Amazon, so many countries will be there. So many records will be there. Okay, so in that case, right, if you have this kind of inconsistent issue, what will happen is when somebody looks at this data, they'll think upfront, oh, in USA, we made only 18,887. But actually, because of typo, the US sales got splitted. 4251 came and, this value got absorbed by this one. Right, so 4251 should get added with this one. So now how do I combine USS and is there any way I can do that? But here we cannot do that in Power BI Desktop. In Power BI Cloud Service, we have something called fuzzy matching. With that, we can do it. So in that case, what happens is it goes and compares the values string by string, US and US, but one additional S is there. Maybe these two are same. It will combine these two things, fuzzy grouping. Supposing, let's say you have US, you're also US, but the U is lowercase. It is not uppercase, lowercase. But still, it will ignore the case, whether it's a lowercase or uppercase. It will consider both of them are US. But in this case, it is completely different. USS is there. It will go and see. It use something, some distance-based algorithm here. Okay, fuzzy grouping. This is called fuzzy grouping. It is using something called Jaccard similarity algorithm. Okay, this is machine learning related. You have something called Jaccard similarity algorithm. In that case, it goes and finds out the distance between these values. These two are somewhat matching, hence it combines these two into a single row. So you see, there are two things here. First, we started with doing group by on sales column. So group by on country ID for the sales column. We use the sum function. And then we extend it to doing the sum on the quantity sold, right? So for that, I have selected the quantity. Next one is total number. Here I have used count rows function. Here all rows function, I used it to get the detailed thing. But though we did all the things, finally, when I shared the report with my manager, Steve, he said, hey, why US value got splitted like this? There is something wrong. Is there anything that you can do to combine these two things together? In this case, only 6 records there, I can see it. This, you have 1 million records are there. In the 9,990th record, you can see something USS. And somewhere, 12,109 record, also you have USS. It's painful going and changing. But what you can do is, one option is, let me do it. What option you can use it here? Can someone tell me? Let me see how many of you can do. Very simple option. How do I combine these two in this single thing? As part of data preparation, right? See, what I do is I just right click on it. Yeah, let me see. Replace. Very good. Sumati, superb. Right? Right click on it. Replace values. Replace USS by US. Very simple thing. This is one option. Look here, you combine this. But still it remains as it is, right? It remains as it is. But after we did the group by, we did this one. This is wrong actually. So what we should have done in the source data itself, we should have done it. Here, if you do the replace values, which, I found some issue here. Okay, here itself, I am doing this one. That's why, but here the replace values is there. Okay. So here what I do is I insert the new, another step. USS, right? Find out wherever USS is there, replace it with US and click on OK. We fixed it. And another problem is Germany. Germany, GRG is there. Right click on it and replace value. GR and G. Since we have less number of records, we can find out where the problem is there. Like I said, we have 1 million records, or the 25 million records are there. Right? So 999th record, instead of GR, they use GRM, germ. Right? Different naming convention they used for the same country name. But whatever you have seen, you did it. But what is the assurance that the user would not have mentioned small g, capital ER? That is when the fuzzy group matching is very much handy. In this case, okay, we did the replace, fine. And when I click on the group rows, excellent. All the US value got combined together. These are the common sense related thing. If you find any data related, when you see it, you can fix it. But there are some things like the volume of the data is very high. Here I have seen USS. Somewhere else, what they did, they mentioned US, but the U was small letter, S was capital letter, or both of them were small letter. Since Power BI is case sensitive, what will happen? It will treat capital US as a separate record, small US as a separate record. But that record is available at the 99,909th row. You think physically, can I go and check everything? It is not possible, right? So in that kind of situation, you have something fuzzy matching. Okay, this is a simple thing, common sense related thing. You can do it. Fine. What I do is I just close and apply. We did group by successfully. Very good. Now what I do is I just go to the Power BI Cloud Service. Don't worry about access all the thing here. You just watch my video. That is more than sufficient at this moment. Or if you have office address, you can go ahead and create it. The email ID, right? Office email, if you have it, you can create. Look here, I just connected it here. I just type the Power BI Cloud Service here. Here, what I am going to do is I just click on create. No, not this one. Let me do one thing. Okay, I just go to the workspaces. I select big box. Is the folder name. Okay, and here what I do is I click on new here. And I'm going to create something called data flow. Here, define new tables. Step 1, click on workspaces, select any one of the workspace name, which means the folder name. Step 2, click on new. In the new, you will find something called workflow. Click on the workflow. It will take you here. You have 4 different options. I start with add new tables. You need to remember, write it down. If you have memory problem, write it down. The steps, whatever I explain it. Right. So what is file name? Text CSV. Here what I'm going to do is, I'm going to say D colon dat in my laptop sales underscore, so not AGG sales, right? AGG sales dot CSV file is there. This is available in my local laptop, but you need to specify your local laptop, the file name and the path name correctly here. And then here, look here, this is where the gateway comes into picture. You need to install gateway in your laptop in order for the cloud to read the data from your laptop. See, it is cloud, it is all available in cloud. Okay, from the cloud, if you want to read the data from your local laptop, there should be some kind of agent, some connector, right? That is what called as gateway. Gateway, I will explain it later. I installed it already. It is running. And you need to check here. On premises deep neuron, okay, the default one got selected. And then here, no, something wrong here. Yeah, the second one, okay. And here, what is the name here for this? The second one. Okay, it is, it enable this one, Windows, and then the username and password. Here, what is my Windows, right? Yeah, I think, yeah, welcome. And home, I think. Okay, here, my password is something like this. When I click on next, see what did I do here? I need to specify the file name and the correct path name. Okay. And now for the cloud to read the data from this file, which is available in local laptop, the gateway should run. You need to select the gateway name here. This one will display automatically once you install the gateway in your laptop. Okay. And then the connection name can be anything. It is there. It automatically, you don't disturb this. Authentication kind, Windows. You have different you have one, you can see only Windows. Here you need to specify username and then password. But even I doubt welcome. Let me just see here. Give me a second. Control Alt delete, right? Okay. Yeah. So here this username is welcome. Click on. If you specify the wrong username password, it will not work. Even I doubt whether it will work because I think you need to specify the laptop name also. Yeah, something wrong here. I need to use my laptop name, system name followed by the username. Let's see, this is taking longer than expected. Yeah, it's connected. Good. Very good. Right. So my cloud, from the cloud, it read the data from my local laptop file, which is nothing but AGCS. It displays the data here. Very good. You can see JER, USS. Very good. So next one is I just click on transform data. What you are seeing here is the Power Query editor on cloud. See here, when you click on this one, what you see here in your local laptop, Power BI desktop, Power Query editor, we can see it. The same thing, you can see it on the Power BI cloud also. That's it. Next, transform. Here also the same things are available. Group by to demonstrate the fuzzy group, right? I came here, okay. Your country ID, same thing. Okay, here I just do the total sales. And here what I do is sum function and the sales. And here I just go, I know very well, I can see the USS is there. Something wrong here. All the US records should get combined and apply the sum function. But only these 3 US records will get combined. This one will consider as a separate different record. But this one should also be considered as the same US record. In total, 4 US records should get combined. But it is not possible because of this thing. What I do is I select use fuzzy grouping and I expand this one, fuzzy group options. You can see something like similarity threshold, ignore case. In case, like I said, here you have capital US, here mentioned, small US. In that case, it will consider both of them are same and then it will combine. Next one is group by combining text parts. Okay, this is important. Combining text parts, it will combine US, and then see the USS and the it will come. So more or less somewhat similar. How many of you remember, know this one? For example, in the Word document, in the advanced option search, right? You want to exactly, let's say you want to find out a word. You want to find out the word that you typed it exactly or somewhat similar to the word you want to select it, right? Exact match, somewhat similar. That is the one you can, use it roughly speaking with similarity threshold. If I do, see if I increase the threshold, what will happen? The US should match exactly. If any additional yes, if you want to ignore it, that should be a separate record. The exact match. What I did is, don't go by exact match. You relax that thing. Anywhere if you find USSs and somewhat USS, you combine them. That's all. So I made it 0.67 or 0.71, something like. Click on OK. Let's see if that is combining all the US, including the USS also into a single record. Excellent, right? Though USS was there in the last row, still it considered the USS also as part of US. But GR gone, right? GR has some problem. So now what I do is I just go here and click on the settings button. And then I just see, is there any way I can do? You cannot do anything there. Probably GE and GR, right? I'll reduce the threshold value. Let's see what happens. No, GR remains GR. So these certain things you need to replace it manually. GE and so GE and GR is there, right? In the country PC, GR is there, GE is there. But in this case, it is not an exact match. It cannot do anything. It is not much helpful here, right? So in that kind of situation, you need to manually replace it. But even I tried this once, it was working fine. Let me just see. You can play around with the threshold, okay, reduce the threshold, slightly increase it and see whether it is, no, it still considers a GR only, right? So this is something like a naming convention problem. Nothing can be done here. So in this kind of situations, you have to use replace values. But when it comes to USS, right, in the near match, it combined to single record. So it is very much helpful, the fuzzy grouping. So it uses something called Jacquard, the similarity algorithm. This is a machine learning algorithm, okay? It uses this algorithm to do the fuzzy matching, fuzzy grouping, okay? Hope you understood what is fuzzy grouping and the different options that were available as part of aggregation function. Sum function, the count rows function, all rows function, and min function, median function, all the things I've shown you. And also we have explained it step by step, right? In case any typo error, right, you need to fix it. But here, the fuzzy grouping also works some extent only. Probably you can give it a try, right? By changing the threshold value, you give it a try. Let me, and I need to check my previous video, previous batch. I think even this one also got addressed there. I don't remember it. I will check it out. Probably you can also try this one, okay? But you don't have access to cloud, and probably I will check it and I'll come back to you, okay? My other videos. Okay, so far we discussed about the types of parameters and the use cases, in the sense the scenarios, when you can use it, what are the scenarios you can use it, and then what is group by. Okay, any queries so far? Any questions, any doubts? Okay, I will share this file again with different naming convention, and then what you do is start practice it, okay? And then if you have any questions, you come back in, but don't ever postpone it. If you postpone it, you will forget. Okay, the postponement is one of the biggest, the drawback, which will make you failure. Try tomorrow, watch my video, sit together, right? And then you practice it, discuss amongst yourself, or watch my video and then practice it. If you have still any problem, you can contact me between 12 to 3 p.m. Monday through Thursday. Okay. Friday to Sunday, I'm very busy. Fine, guys, since you don't have any questions, I'm going to wrap up the session. We'll share the report file. Yesterday file, I did not send it to all. That one, and today file also I'll send it to all. Okay, thanks. Bye-bye. Take care.